What's up?
What up, though?
Just chilling.
Massively.
Drinking 1,000 milligrams of sodium.
Yeah.
Just soy sauce? Got a bottle in front of you? Like, what's...
I don't even know if
in a
soy
1,000
sauce got
milligrams of sodium?
1,000 milligrams of sodium. No, it's Element. It's just water, sparkling electrolyte water.
Oh.
Them electrolytes, though.
Yeah.
It's those milligrams. That's what
Facilitating the catalysm of ATP in your cells.
There you go.
Woo.
Gotta get that transport.
Hey, remember when I said I had a really quiet fridge?
Yeah.
I did my mic test and I can hear it. So be aware of that.
So, I mean, hey, maybe the fridge is still quiet. Maybe you just have a really good mic, you know?
Yeah, I've got the gain down and just like, God,
Just noise gate the crap out of it and then yell the whole podcast.
Hey, look.
This thing keeps happening when I'm editing.
We'll stop it.
Where, okay, hold on. Where I'll do like an impression of a character or something, but Discord decides that that's the time where it just needs to cut me off.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you're clipping your mic, forget you, and just like drops me out of the call for a second.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're trying to make a funny voice?
Yeah, we don't recognize that. We only recognize your regular voice, and then
someone has knocked him out and is now speaking through his mic. We must mute them.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's happened a couple times since we started this season. So I guess character impressions are not best practice for when using Discord.
It's Craig. Craig doesn't like voice work, you know?
Craig just always feels like he could do better.
He takes offense to it being a character himself.
Craig is from everywhere, so...
I'm Craig.
And see, that's going to come out mad clippy.
Yeah, we'll be able to hear it. Welcome to A for No, B for Yes, the podcast where last episode we went swinging with pirates, and then those pirates shot us they put us in a barrel and shot us at a place where pirates used to live, but they aren't pirates there anymore. There's bad guys there, and then a bunch of surfer dudes with streetlights, and then we got out of there, and then we talked to a boat for a while. And he seemed sus, and then he dropped us off at an island. And on this episode, we won't be doing any of that.
No. But who are you?
On this episode of A for No, B for Yes, I'm Luigi.
I'm Ryan Fonzie, and I'm a crystal mohawk.
Yar, it'd be Schwabby Cameron, and I'd be a pair of fingernail clippers.
War. I'm Anthony, and I'm the Thanksgiving turkey that you didn't eat last year. I'm still here.
Revenge heavy.
The one I didn't eat?
Yeah.
You could have bought him at the store, but no, you bought Jeff.
Oh.
You left Steve there.
That makes sense.
There are many turkeys I did not eat.
Well, I'm one of them.
Oh my gosh. Fantastic. Yeah. So as the Yeah, I mean, guys, we're here on Windfall. This is like the big one, but not really. There's like a bajillion big ones, but this is like
The first big one.
the first one that really matters. The first one that's not a tutorial.
There's people here.
There are people.
It's
There's a lot of
populated.
people.
Yeah, it's different. It's not just like two families.
And there's gossip.
Oh,
There's
there's gossip.
there's all kinds of things going on. There's yeah. So this is a big island. I mean, a lot of NPCs, a lot of things to cover. That's why we kind of decided to give this one its own episode. Back when we did Ocarina of Time, we did like a whole episode just on the people of Castletown and Kakariko, and that's kind of what this is going to be like. Because there's just a lot of characters here, and if we introduce them now, we can refer to them much quicker later on.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
Who was that one lady who was like, "I'm so pretty," you know?
Which one?
If you need to know, just go back to our Windfall episode.
The one, right?
Just like that.
The one who's old and pretty, or the one who just got a new dress?
Or the one who just likes pretty things, or
there's that too.
There's a lot of
pictures are also beautiful.
Yeah.
This island kind of reminded me of when we talked about Ocarina of Time, how everyone in that place was just in their own world and blissful and don't have a care in the world about anything. And these people, while they're not really blissful per se, there's a lot of greedy guys and gals on this island.
Yeah, let's talk about this for a second. Okay, so the boat drops us off and says, "Hey, I need a sail," and this is probably the best place to find it. Windfall Island, right? So the word windfall originally comes, and I'm going just deep into nonsense right now, but the word windfall originally refers to when wind knocks fruit off of a tree, like an apple or other fruit falls from a tree because of the wind. But in the terms of finance, it also means, a bit of unexpected good fortune. Usually it means getting a large amount of money. Yeah, something like that.
Yo, you find a money tree, though?
Not in this game. I didn't find one. But there is, it basically is like, you got like a bonus or some check in the mail you didn't expect or whatever. Like it's a windfall. Like, you didn't do anything, or at least it didn't feel like you did anything to get it. You just kind of have some lucky fortune. So Windfall Island is very much an island of people looking for their fortunes, is what it feels like. Some people have already found them. Some people are looking for them. Some people are just like trying to make a living.
In jail.
Yeah. Some people are in jail.
It does feel like people are congregating here, though. There's a few sailors on the island. They're like, everybody here is soft. They all just like want to hang out on this island.
Yeah.
I feel like people have come to this island. It's becoming populated for that reason.
So I took notes on all these NPCs. Just quick. I didn't like write down all of their dialogue or anything, but I just figured it'd be easier to do a rundown if we had some kind of organization here. So I'll just like run through a section, and then we can kind of zoom in on the characters that we find the most interesting of the group.
Okay.
But in terms of describing the island overall, there's a few characters that do a really good job of like actually talking to Link and giving him the lowdown on where he is and what it means, right? So the first character I want to talk about is this dude, Sam. He's not the first character you're going to run into because he's kind of hidden on the backside of the island, but he's sitting on a bench looking out across the ocean.
Sam.
And he'll tell you straight up, people come from all over to try to be successful merchants here.
Mm-hmm.
He specifically says that he feels like people need to open their hearts a little more than their wallets. He's kind of critical of the situation. But at the same time, I think that's a pretty apt description of the island.
Yes. Yeah, maybe he's the one I'm getting, that people have come to this island.
Yeah.
I gave him, for some reason, he looked like Nixon, and then I started like reading his lines as my Nixon voice, and then when what he said, I was like, "Oh, this is deeply ironic for the voice I've chosen."
Love stopping and sniffing the flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
So, he brings me to my first category of people, which is the merchants on the island. So as you go around, there are a bunch of different shops, but they all kind of bring a different vibe to the island, which is great. It's flavorful, but you go in these different rooms and you'll find these kinds of characters. First one I want to bring up is the Bomb Master Cannon. It's literally his name is Bomb Master Cannon.
Legend.
Is he the one that has extremely affordable bombs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
super duper
Just
affordable. As long
the
as
most.
as long as you're the one other guy on the island with money,
His
you can totally
his
get them.
signage is just like did he see that a kid came in and like change all of his signs because they're all like, "You can't even read, get out of here, you child."
It's just fun. Like he's like, oh yeah, you can like tilt your joystick to look at the wares, and every time you look at one, he's like, "There's no way you're going to afford this. Why are you even looking?" It's like, you told me to look. It's like, what are we doing here? If you sneak into the back of his store and jump in, he gets kind of upset. He's like, "How did you find your way in here?" Doesn't like kick you out or anything, but just voices that clearly you're being suspicious.
He's just like, "Get out of here, child."
These wares are far too expensive. I cannot allow you to run around.
Right.
Yeah, I have dangerous stuff back there.
Yeah. Some other merchants we got Doc Bandum. Is the True Jelly Potion Man.
What is his name?
Bandum.
He sounds like a villain.
Bandam.
Doc
Bandum.
Bandam.
Crash
Okay.
Bandicoot.
Doc Bandam. It's like,
That's Cortex's right-hand man right there.
yeah, I got like Doc Brown vibes just from this dude. Just
Mhm.
I don't know. He comes across as like mad scientist, but he's just obsessed with chew jelly.
Yeah, he's like a 100-year-old scientist, or scientist from 100 years ago kind of vibes.
Yeah,
He thinks we got a bottle? That's crazy.
That's what really makes me mad. He's just like, come on, man. Like, he's like, people are weirded out by chews, but you should try it. And I was like, I want to.
It's like, I would love to. I see you have a bottle on your counter. He's like, nah. Nah, that's not the
Can
one.
I buy that one?
It's my one and only bottle, kid.
He's like, I can't. Sorry, without a bottle, I can't give you chew jelly. It would defy the laws of physics.
How would you hold it?
Yes.
Just in your fingers. Come on.
I have a monster pouch.
just lather it into
Yeah, just toss it in there.
Like, I'll just wring it out. Maybe I'll only get like yeah, like I'll just wring it out when I need it, and I'll get like maybe only 2.5 hearts, but I'll at least get something.
Yeah. I'll just squeeze the bag till it's coming out the seams and then just lick it.
Yeah.
Ayo.
All right. So next up is Jillian. She runs the cafe bar.
Okay.
And she'll tell you that things seem pretty bright and breezy in the daytime, but at night it's a dark and seedy place, and like these sailors show up at her bar.
Oh snap!
Talk about their their exploits out on the ocean. I don't know, because you can't see anything at night yet here. Like, this is strictly a day locked section of the game, so we don't get to see what she means by that. But yeah, she's I don't know. This is big milk bar vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody does talk about night and day here.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more. Man, there's a lot of people being like, "You're just a kid. Shut up."
Well, you're not gonna be. You're not where they're gonna find their fortune. Is what they all feel like.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. But also like, oh, it's going to be really dangerous in here. Like you won't believe it.
Yeah. And we'll get our chance in this game to kind of prove to everybody like how they should have taken us seriously, but
yeah, we're gonna have some deep wallets later.
Not on this visit.
The line from
we can do very few things.
Yeah. The line from Adventure Brothers is that boy is a spinning murder top.
I mean, it's kind of right though.
Yeah, it kind of
on every single part of that, because we do be spinning.
Yeah, we're gonna come back and like, wow, that kid is a spinning murder top. Look at him go.
Next on my list, I got Salvatore, who is the mini game sploosh kaboom guy.
I love Salvatore.
You've got the Salvatore man who does the running the games and stuff.
So look, you have to be careful. The squids are coming to destroy the village.
Yeah, right. You don't want the squids to hurt you.
No.
So Salvatore. Maybe you can tell by the voices, but just to give a little bit of context, he's one of the most bored, apathetic looking merchant dudes, just like sitting at his desk waiting for a customer. He doesn't seem super excited
with this huge shop
about you being
massive shop.
Yeah, he does have a pretty big setup. And once you tell him that you'd like to actually play a game, he kind of switches personalities and becomes a performer.
Mm-hmm.
Throws on like some cardboard cutouts that look kind of like the old German Navy type stuff, and becomes Admiral Dvalski.
Admiral Dvalski.
Yeah.
My personality.
Dvalski is almost an anagram for Salvatore. Not quite. A couple letters switched around, but I thought it was funny how close it was. But anyway, yeah, he does a whole bit about defending the Navy from these squids, or defending the children.
The children, specifically the children.
And it's a great time. I actually forgot to play this mini game this time.
No, you didn't save the children.
I didn't save the children.
Oh my god. That's my favorite part is at the very end, he switches the cardboard cutout to like a cardboard cutout of children. He's just like, oh
yeah. This game, and I think my reward was a heart piece if you get like the high score.
Yeah.
I didn't get the high score.
Yeah, I played this.
I think the first time you win it, even if you don't like crush it, he still gives you the heart piece.
Oh, definitely not.
You don't think so?
No, because I did not do good the first few times, and I lost money.
Gotcha.
I got a heart piece for tying the high score, or not. The high score is 20, and you have 24 shots, and so I got a heart piece and then a C chart.
Oh, nice.
And then I think if you beat the high score, which is stupid hard, or not hard, just you have to get really lucky, then you get another heart piece, I want to say.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't get any of that. I'm at like the next section. I still just have 3 hearts, but I know that it was possible to get up to 4. But I did not do that.
Yo, I really thought I talked to everyone on this island, but I did not see this guy, apparently.
No, the battleship guy.
He's inside the windmill, and there's a lot of NPCs right outside the windmill that totally, I mean, like that, I got distracted. I didn't even, I forgot that there was a door I was missing because I went in every other door.
I thought I went in every door on that island, but no.
After I left, I was like, oh, I never just went inside.
And I missed heart pieces?
Yeah.
And you missed the best context ever. If we allow them to come any closer, the children on the island will be in grave danger. But be warned, you have only 24 cannonballs that you can fire. He's so good.
Just to see the smiling faces of the children.
And then once he's like, once he's like once you're done with the game and everything, he just goes back to his like apathetic.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It says, oh yeah, like don't forget your umbrella. No, nothing on the way out the door. Like your umbrella, what?
Yeah.
Why my umbrella? All right.
Whatever you brought with you, you know. So the next merchant here is of course Lenzo, who runs the pictograph shop.
Oh, because his name is Lenzo.
Yeah, this dude is uncomfortable to be around.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Come on, he's someone that shares my passion of sneaking up behind people to scare them.
Shares your passion for that?
Yeah. No, I earnestly very much so enjoy sneaking up behind someone and then be like, hey, what's up? And then watching them like jump and turn around. I love that.
Okay.
I get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
But do you do that and then instead of saying, yo, hey, what's up? Do you just like snap a picture of them and then they turn around and be like, yo, who are you?
Yeah, Lenzo. I mean, he didn't even. I don't even think he even said what the end goal was. He just said he liked sneaking up behind people.
Yeah,
I didn't even know he took a picture.
he's like, I love taking pictures of sneaking up behind people and just snapping the picture.
Yeah, the idea is getting candid photos, but it comes across as like,
Yeah,
you can't read a room. Like, shouldn't
my co-host
be doing this?
Or my old co-host BC was a photographer, and he would sometimes just like pop a camera out when like we were all hanging out and take candid shots. And like 6 years later, you'd be like, "Yo, look at this," or whatever in a text. And be like, "Oh, cool, I remember that. It's me in a Pink Floyd tank top." Sure. But yeah, like I knew he had a camera and I knew him. He didn't sneak up behind me as a total stranger and go, click.
Missed opportunity.
You got a good profile, kid.
Don't mind
Thanks.
me. I'll get back to my corner now.
What are you gonna do with that picture?
Add it to my collection.
I said, on top of all of this, though, as untrustworthy as this guy looks, and he's got the eyes that looks like he doesn't blink for like 12 minutes straight.
Mhm.
And yet he says that he doesn't trust us, like 3'6" kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come
Who
on,
might not
dude.
even be a kid.
I don't get it.
You know, untrustworthy people don't easily trust other people. So I think Lenzo over here projecting a little bit about himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He also
and
asked us
like,
to get his camera back. And I'm like, but you got a camera on your neck, dude. And he's like, yeah, but I want
He's
my
got
other
another one
camera.
sitting on the counter right next to him. He's like, nah, he
says
doesn't have a
that,
shortage
too.
for cameras.
In the
He's
new
like,
game
yes.
plus, he compliments because you start out with the color pictograph, and he's like, "Oh, you got one heck of a camera." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
Well, you
I didn't
start
even
with the
just
color
pay for
pictograph. You got that new game plus stuff going for you.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like the mission to get the color pictograph is like super long and convoluted, and I've never gotten it naturally. I think I've always gotten it from just beating the game and then getting a new game plus.
Well, we can talk about. I found a shortcut in this episode,
Nice,
sort of. But yeah,
That's what he talking about.
but yeah,
He's still excited.
I
You
don't
talk
know.
about that shortcut you found?
You heard that shortcut, though?
Sing it to the world. Tell them the neighbors. Apparently, the neighbor shut a door. So,
Oh, that'll do it.
but the guy even mentions how like, yes, I have many other cameras. That's not what this is about. I want that camera back because it was mine.
Okay.
Like, but they're all yours, bro.
Man's got a
Let one go. Release yourself.
It's still on the island. He could go get it.
Doesn't he
He's like,
know
that?
that it's in jail? Because
I don't think he does.
Isn't it the literal children that tell you where it is? I mean, this guy doesn't know what the kids know? Come on.
I tried to give it to him, and he was just like, "Oh, look, you have a camera. I used to have one just like that." I'm like, "Bro, it's your camera."
Wow, you have the same initials as me in the same place I put mine. That's crazy.
Wow, it's even the same serial number, huh? What a quinky dink. Hope you like it.
I can't see there being a mass producer of cameras where it would be like, oh, it's the same model as the one I had. It like legitimately be like, oh, it's the exact same camera, like
He
all
said,
the
like,
same pieces and parts.
Even it's like of the same quality, so like it's nicer. It's like rarer or something.
Yeah.
And and this is his reason for like not trusting anyone, which
Yeah.
I get it, but like someone stole just because someone stole my power book 20 years ago, it doesn't mean I have like I am now the jaded character. I have the jaded outlook on life. I will never trust again.
When random people show up to your house, you don't say like, "Hey, I really wish I had my power book back."
Yeah, there's a lot of like Jimi Hendrix music on there.
As soon as you walk into your apartment, there's a sign, "If I catch you stealing."
My power book.
Oh no, guys.
What?
I can't unread this now. I just read something on a trivia about this guy that I shouldn't have read.
Well,
And now I'm
Let's go
scarred.
later in the game.
Well, hold on, because there's more to talk about with this guy real quick before we get too far in, and this might be what you are talking about, but I don't know. So, I mean, you can go behind this guy's counter, get upstairs, right? And you can
He sneaks up behind you.
Yeah, and you can kind of go through his photo gallery, and he'll tell you about every picture that he has up there. Some of them are of pretty little consequence, like the choo-choo and some other like some statues that you can find on some islands. There's some cool stuff, but I believe this is where you can find a picture of Outlook Island or Outset Island. I mean, and he'll straight up tell you that like, oh yeah, he used to know a beautiful young lady while he was there, but she's probably not so young anymore.
Grandma?
Well, I'm not sure. It could be grandma. It could be Abraham's wife.
He's not that old.
Zelda and adultery?
Like, this guy isn't that old.
Now I gotta look up what that lady's name was. Was it Rose? It probably was Rose. I think it was Abraham and
Abe
Rose.
And Rose.
Super Saiyan Rose.
Yeah,
because this is the only other like woman that would match that description. Because Sue Bell is probably still younger than what he's talking about. Grandma seems too old, so they might be talking about Rose, but I'm not entirely sure. But basically, this dude used to have an outset life going on.
Yeah, so the community seems to think that it's Link's grandmother, and some people have went on as far as to theorize that Link it's his grandpa.
Grandpa?
No.
He wanted a picture of his grandson.
This guy ain't that old.
We don't know Link's mom, but he had to have one. Like, maybe he's just straight up dad.
Oh gosh.
And he doesn't know that Link's mom is no longer with us.
I'm not into the idea of being related to Lenzo. It's like being related to Lineback. Like, I'm just like, no, thank you.
I understand your feelings,
Mm-hmm.
but the evidence is undeniable.
Link's gonna have to reflect on this one.
Yeah. But luckily that has very little bearing on the game, so it's not something that needs to be true at all. It's just
he's got other plans. He's there's other fish in the sea.
We also get to see a picture of the ghost ship. Ooh.
Oh yeah. He,
Oh.
you
And we
know,
find out that there's a treasure on the ghost ship. Ooh.
yeah. He basically throws out a bunch of future spoiler stuff. Just like, hey, in case you were worried this game wasn't going to get good, here's a bunch of pictures of it getting real good later.
Hey.
I know you've been in the tutorial for 4 hours, but trust me, there's stuff out there.
You can see what is like one of the like basically the spiritual stone from Ocarina a little early.
Yeah. And then lastly, on my merchants block, sorry, I'm just trying to move this along a little bit, is our main man Zunari,
Oh yeah.
who fell on hard times and was shipwrecked here. And has very little to his name, but he'd love to start a shop. He just needs some seed money. So he offers to sell you something for 80 rupees.
Look, I can tell you're a fellow sailor. You might need this.
Something. Yeah,
but if you talk to the guy right outside sitting on the stairs, he does tell you, "I'll go talk to that guy in a parka if you want to sue."
I've got that thing.
Yeah. So unless you agree to this super sketchy deal, you're not getting off this island, because he does indeed sell us the sail that we need to progress the game. And I know that's a weird place to start, because we're not going to do that yet. We're just going to kind of talk about some other NPCs.
I usually don't mess with him until like the middle of my playthrough, so that makes sense. We're good.
He also won't do anything right now.
He gives off. I'm wondering if we like later. You know the Anukis from the DS games.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of like kind of got the same design ish as him. I was wondering if like they tweaked it later on. They're like, well, we'll take this guy because he comes from a far off land. And he's like, I just want to be a merchant. Like, I could tell you're a sailor like me. You might need this thing I've got. Like, let's help each other out here. But we're brothers.
Oh, the
so like
antler people.
Yeah, like what if he, like maybe at some point they were, instead of making a sequel, they're like, well, we still have this like far off land. Maybe we'll just turn them into antler people.
So when he got into the shipwreck, he lost his antlers.
Oh yeah.
No, they're just under the parka.
Maybe
that's why he don't. Maybe that's why he don't take it off, though. I mean, everybody else seems to be fine in like a short sleeve shirt, but this guy's over here frying like an egg.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like a pretty unique character in this game, but yeah, it's
There's a guy in the Yakuza game I'm playing right now. The one that takes place in Hawaii, where he's just like, I'm still cold. Like he's wearing like 3 coats. Like, I thought Hawaii would like be warm enough, but I'm still cold, man.
My boy got that forever cold.
Is that pirate one?
No, it's the Infinite Wealth.
Oh, okay.
Doctor says I'm severely anemic. This is my only solution. It's more layers.
Tsunari just got that thin blood.
Something like that, yeah. And so that brings us to the end of the merchants.
Hooray!
So the next bit of people coming here from all around, I just figured would be a nice transition. If you talk to this dude Anton, whose hair is like in a crazy pompadour, looks a little bit like a bicycle helmet. He'll say, "Oh, you can follow me around for a tour of the city." I didn't do that. I don't know if that actually does anything.
He just walked away from me after he offered, and I was like, "All right, bro."
He says it's a cozy town. Something about it being romantic. Not really sure what that's about. And he says they get a lot of travelers here. And when he said that, my first thought was he must be talking about the sailors, because this place is riddled with sailors. So my next group is shorter, but this is the sailors that are on the island. Their names are Gummy, Candy, Cane, and Dampa.
Huh.
So,
nah.
Okay.
yeah.
One of those things doesn't fit in very well.
Right. Yeah. Gummy, Candy, Kane. They're probably all part of one crew.
Well, if not, I mean, now we know the spinoff.
Yeah. And Dampa, I believe, is a Dompe reference.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
But he's not tending any graves. He's tending pigs. So I don't know what that's about.
Reincarnation or something.
But he's also obsessed with skull necklaces, which we find out later. So I'm like, that does seem like Dompe if he's all about the skull necklaces.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Because you need the skull. Like if you play the pig game, you need skull necklaces to do it. We haven't talked about skull necklaces yet, but basically it's just like a spoils bag treasure.
Okay.
See, I think Dampa's just starting out. Like, those pigs, they're not going to live forever. Then he's going to have a pig graveyard to tend. So, I mean.
There we go. That's small. Pet cemetery. He's
here lies the pigs that were the attendants to the royal family.
And then he just walks back and forth like 5 feet across, turns around, and then goes back another 5 feet. Just keeps doing it.
Don't bury your pigs here. They come back, but they're not the same.
Also played my grave robbing minigame. I'm going to dig up one of these pigs for you and show them what it had.
Bring it back to the lady at outset.
Oh, no.
Yikes.
Dampa's the guy in front of the bomb shop, right?
Yeah. Right
Yeah,
now, all he'll tell you is that if you need money advice, he knows a thing or two and doesn't actually give you any money advice.
Whisper.
Typical.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just like, you look like you have a bomb for a head. It's got like kind of, it goes up to almost like a point, like a wick. I was like, that makes sense. You're standing sort of close to the bomb shop.
Nice. I don't remember how these guys are exactly positioned. I know Kane is the dude in front of the gate, so he's like right by the docks. Claims to be something of an art critic. Kind of looks at the gate and says, "Isn't this a great gate? Love this gate."
Mm.
He'll have more to say later when we start doing Zenari's quest. But for right now, it's just like, man, get a load of this gate.
Just doesn't feel like there's someone on the team who's like into architecture, who's in charge of coming up with things for people to say. And it's like, I'm going to have someone admire this gate.
Yeah.
Because I admire gates.
There are the other two sailors, Gummy and Candy, are kind of redundant. So Gummy, I think, is the one up on the wall. I could have these two backwards. So
okay.
Just and what happens if the wind is blowing east or west? He'll tell you of like an island of importance that's in either direction. But every other direction the wind is going, he'll tell you, oh, it's not really a fair wind right now.
Okay.
Which just kind of says like, oh, I don't, either he doesn't care about what's in the other directions or they're not significant islands. But he'll tell you about like Dragon Roost and maybe like the Fairy Island or something like that.
He told me
I don't
about
remember
Dragon
what the whole thing is. Candy is the dude on the dock.
I don't like Candy.
What are you doing? Why are you talking to me?
He said his attitude changes based on what direction the wind is going.
Oh, really?
That's if you talk
never
to him
knew
a few
that.
times, yeah. But what that really translates to is that he'll just tell you whatever island is going, like any direction the wind's blowing, he'll tell you that island that's in that direction. So one of them's like, oh, well, there's these two good islands. The rest is, whatever. And this guy's like, no, I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Oh, okay.
About which way the wind is going.
Not right now.
He also told me that he wouldn't give me his sail.
Yeah, right now he's like, get away from me.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's 4 sailors on the island. There's no boats. Like,
you're expecting too much.
How are you guys sailing? Part of me is like, is it the pirate ship? Like, did they steal it from you? Like, where?
Yeah.
Where is your boat?
Well, they'll be mad when they bring it back soon.
Well, that's what I would think. Like, there's a section in this game where you would expect the sailors to say something about the boat, but I don't know that actually happens. I think they just say like, "Oh, the pirates are here" or something. I don't know.
But yeah, he's very upset that the notion that you would ask for him for a sale. He needs it.
It's like his livelihood. Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare he?
One other weird thing about Candy, just from the wiki, statue figurine description, he's 17 years old apparently.
Yeah, not buying it. That's like saying Naruto was 15 in Shippuden. Yeah, okay.
Just like that. Just like saying that. Oh gosh. So lot going on with these sailors. One thing that I want to bring up just before we get too far. There's this character named Missy, who I'm gonna have a bit to say later on, but Missy is Dampa's mom. From what I understand, like from just reading the figurines and stuff like that, and that's a problem for me. I don't like that.
Which one's Missy?
Missy is the one who sits on the dock, like behind the shops.
I wish I could leave, but I don't have a boat.
Oh,
she's talking about Dragon Roost. She tells you about Dragon Roost Island.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure I have the right character before I really go off on this, because mother of Dampa the sailor.
I love that her figurine just says she's just an ordinary elderly woman.
Yeah, we'll talk about Missy in a bit. She's not a sailor, so she's not in the sailor group, but I just wanted to throw that out there. She's Dampa's mom.
She's
something to think about
on the
later.
Tree.
Yeah, I don't see
sailors. Somewhere, like the tangent hanging, there's a red string hanging off the sailors in some capacity.
Yeah. The next group I actually want to talk about were the gossips.
Hey.
Oh, well, that probably won't get picked up. Ayo.
It definitely did drop for a second.
Did you hear how the teacher likes so much jewelry? Yeah, I mean, like, what is up with the teacher and her little jewelry? That's like, is that even okay for a teacher? What's this kid doing here? This is super important adult stuff you wouldn't undergo with.
Your ears aren't big enough. You need bigger ears.
So, I believe, Cam, you were demonstrating Pompey and Vera, the older gossips, because there are two sets of gossips.
There are. The other ones go, oh my. That probably won't get picked up either.
No, it got cut out a bit. It did. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So my assumption is that these moms are raising these daughters, because there's no way they're this similar.
The apple don't fall far from the windfall tree.
Yeah, when you first get on the island, one of the first set of NPCs you'll find are these two little girls playing out in a field, and if you talk to them, they're like, "Listen, we're not gonna tell you nothing, so stop trying to hear from us. Yeah, we wouldn't even tell you, even if you paid us 2 rupees."
Yeah.
And then,
What are you doing? Get away. Like, we're just kids. Leave us alone. You can't talk to us.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole rupee for each one of us.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're going to get with that.
Well, you'll get some hints as to how to, where you can find some side quests, because these two girls seem to know a lot about the island. Oh. And for the low price of 2 rupees, they will drop one of like 5 random hints. I didn't write them all down. I just remembered there was a selection. And usually it'll lead to something that you can do on Windfall.
I like how they do the cliche of, I totally won't tell you, and immediately tells you.
Right. Well, so these two little girls are named Joanna and Patova. I don't know what the significance of those names are. Probably nothing.
Someone's mom.
Yeah. So then the moms are Pompey and Vera. And when I talked to them, they were just gossiping about Lenzo. They were like, yo, did you hear that, like, he's got some special lady? And they kind of go back and forth about that. Like, it's like, oh, they must be doing picture stuff or something. I don't know. It's just, it's a whole thing.
I heard them gossiping about the jewelry teacher.
Oh.
They were talking about how questionable it is for a teacher to be so into jewelry. I'm like, I guess.
I mean, teachers have lives outside of the school, you know.
Like, if you say so.
Everybody She's too saucy to be a school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She also can see everything through her door. It's crazy, but more on that later.
So when I first talked to them, they were talking to each other about Lenzo. They stop in the middle of it and they say, hey, this isn't a conversation for kids. You shouldn't be listening to us. You're too young for this conversation. So, of course, naturally, the conversation ended there. So I pressed A again to talk to them again. And immediately she went, so anyway, here's the deal with Lenzo. Just kind of brought me into the conversation, looking right at Link, telling him everything. I was like,
they're 100% into that mysterious vibe he's got going.
Mm-hmm. They themselves seem to be big fans of Lenzo. Having maybe a little bit of envy for the secret lady. I don't know. Anyway. So I guess they tell you about the teacher too. I don't know what other gossips the two adults have, because I didn't talk to them much after this. I just wanted to see what they were talking about this time.
I think it's those two, and then it might be they might be the ones who talk about Mr. Walking Around Pompadour guy and the fact that he may have a love interest. I feel like you get into some shenanigans with them at some point.
Yeah,
you go all like TMZ for them.
I mean, he's got a love interest. It's dancing.
No, he's talking about the Pompadour guy who offers to give you the tour. He'll tell you like, every time I walk by this one certain girl, she gives me this look. What could that mean? And there's like a whole thing. You can talk to her, and we'll get to her. She's in like the next group.
Okay, maybe it's not them, but it seems like the kind of thing they'd be like, get pictures. We want pictures.
Basically,
Link.
So they're not looking to make a fortune on the island. They just like to be kind of busybodies a little bit.
They're having fun,
and that's the gossips. It's a very short group. The next one's much bigger.
Okay,
and I've categorized this group as the school, because not only are there current members, but there's also alumni. In fact, I believe Joanna and Pautova that we just talked about are technically going to the school as well in a younger
I would think so.
class. Like their pictures are in the school building, so there's no way that they're not like at least in daycare or something. But the school is run by one Mrs. Marie, who is obsessed with jewelry, but also cares very deeply about the education of the children.
The children.
Yeah, and they tried to besmirch her for being into jewelry. It was like, you can be into jewelry and very devoted and passionate about childhood education. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, she's providing a public service. I don't even know if she gets paid to be a teacher.
I mean, she says that she teaches them like the lessons of joy. I hope she teaches them other things, but joy is important.
Well, it's a joy-based economy out here, you know.
She just starts every lesson by going, math is joy. Let's learn math today. English is joy. Let's learn English today.
And she'll task us with trying to talk some sense into the killer bee, which is basically just the group of kids who wander about the streets of Windfall, led by one Ivan, who wears a little red like paperboy cap.
Yeah, these are some like newsies.
Yeah, I have in my notes here to just look up the figurine because the description of them on the figurine is way better than anything I could write in my notes. So, without further ado, I'm going to do that real quick. Because this description is worth reading. Let's see what we got. The Killer Bees, Wind Waker.
I just like that she's like, look, can you go beat up these kids for me? You're 10. I'm an adult. I can't.
Yeah.
They just call me words I don't understand, but you're like that.
They're right outside the door here, but I'm going to send you to them.
Yeah, and like, you know, her job is to reach children, but she can't reach these children. Okay. It's our job to do that.
So
It's that killer bee instinct, man.
So according to the wonderful figurine, their birthplace, Windfall Island. Main objective, raising trouble. Yeah. This small group of 4 calls itself the Killer Bees. Starting from the left, the members are the leader, Ivan, a very talented and reliable leader. Leave all the tree climbing to him. Jin, the fox, Ivan's quick-witted advisor. His wry insults can be hard to take. Jan, the blue hair, uses his innocent looks to avert trouble. He's the Killer Bee's thug. The pig-nosed Jun Roberto secretly aims to be the next gang leader. He was raised in a bourgeoisie family and has developed into a terrible little tyrant. Next, when these 4 are together, they fear absolutely nothing. And
who wrote this?
Windfall's gang of boys, the Killer Bees.
This was not directly translated, was it?
It was not what?
This was not, like, this was localized. This was not directly translated. Like, who wrote this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's fantastic, though.
Oh my! I'm not gonna lie, I can't take this group seriously, especially not with Ivan as the leader, because I can't get past the fact that he looks like Tiny Tim from the 1958 Scrooge. I just see Tiny Tim every time I look at this. I'm like, oh, sir, would you please spare some change, sir? That's all I see.
Like Dickensian, definitely.
Yeah.
Please climb your tree, sir. May I climb another?
Like he's out here trying to bully us, be like, yeah, buzz, don't mess with us, dude. And I'm like,
Miss Havisham sure is awful to me.
So when I was streaming this, trying to do the voice work, I originally had like a very similar to Nico voice plan for this guy, but then his own little bark in the game was and I was like, oh no. I gotta go high pitched. He sounded like a Muppet.
I gave him
terrible.
I gave him a little street urchin newsy, Brooklyn or Long Island. I think I ended up calling it Long Island.
That's all good. That's
high pitched.
Welcome to Windfall. You got some money, or else you might take a fall. You know what I'm saying?
6-year-old deep voice, New Yorker.
I always thought Jan the blue hair was the one girl in the group until I read the figurine, and then I was like, oh, whoops. All right.
What, she can't be the muscle?
Well, there's just a gang of boys, is what I'm saying. Like,
it says a gang of boys. I was say, like, girls get taller earlier, so I could see it.
I mean, it does say they when it talks about Jan.
Okay,
Vicky.
So what you're saying is that they could be the same age as Linda, who's standing outside the school, because she just got taller earlier.
I'm just saying that in 5th grade, all the girls were taller than I was.
That did happen.
It's okay to be a short kid.
Well, until all the boys got growth spurts.
It happens.
Hey, Jessica, how's it going? No context. Keep going.
All right. So, speaking of Linda, so there are 2 alumni of the school. You would think that everybody on the island would be an alumni, but people come in from out of town and stuff like that. But specifically mentioned in figurines and whatnot, Linda and Camo are a pair of friends who attended Mrs. Marie's school together when they were younger and have since just kind of grown apart in a way where they're both still on the island. They don't talk to each other much anymore. So Linda just got a new dress,
Yeah.
chilling outside.
Pretty good dress.
Would love if someone could take a picture of her and give it to that one person she likes without, giving too much of a description. Because she's trying to get his attention. And this becomes a whole pictograph side quest mini thing between her and our friend Anton. Who's the one who's like, she keeps looking at me weird.
Why's she staring at me? Oh,
so they already kind of know, but they just need that nudge of a picture apparently to make it all happen.
Yeah, that'll make the density go away.
The picture says it all.
Camo is the quiet kid who sits on the steps and sulks.
Yes, I am. Wait, what?
This dude, I'm just gonna kind of spoil a little bit just because I thought this was an interesting point. If you look up his figurine, it pretty much says outright that he wishes he was the moon.
Oh yeah, he's the moon guy.
Okay.
I don't know anything about sailing. Get away from me. And then he's like, he tells you to like, he says sailing lingo to you to get you to leave. He's like, shove off or raise anchor, just get out of here or whatever. I don't know anything about sails.
Yeah.
Convincing.
So right now, he's just kind of like, nobody could ever know how I feel. And then he kind of like, you accept the challenge of like, well, I know how you feel. And he's like, do you really? Like, give me a picture of the first thing that comes to mind when I say something that's perfectly round and pale. And I was like, what? Like, what are we doing? I remember when I first played the game, I tried to give him like a picture of like the one pig that didn't have any spots. I think I actually took a picture of Linda because her face is pretty round. And I was like, maybe he's got a crush. I don't know.
Perfectly.
Turns out he just wants a picture of the full moon. It's a whole thing. It's very like Majora's Mask coded how much he's into the moon.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, he's got some main character energy going on.
And he's just like he's super depressed. He's like I really don't like being here. I wish I was the moon. I wish, something. I don't know. He's just got this big affection for the moon. It's such a weird thing. Says he's ever the romantic. He loves the gaze of the night sky. He and his dear friend Linda were once classmates at Mrs. Marie's school. That's what his figurine says.
Oh, okay.
I have a problem.
Also, the figurine decides to mention he was born on Windfall Island, and it says years with no girlfriend, 18.
Oh, hey, level 18 wizard, my guy.
All right, whatever.
So my problem with this, he likes Linda, right?
Well, we don't.
He looks
know.
about
He doesn't say
18.
that,
oh, he doesn't?
It never outright says that he likes Linda, but
okay, but they graduated together.
They graduated together, and apparently he's been 18 years without a girlfriend. I don't know if that means he's 18 and he's never had one, or it's been 18 years since.
I think that's what we're saying.
He was born with a girlfriend, but then he lost to the girlfriend.
Right.
My problem with this is he looks about like 18, 20. Like, you take a look over at Linda. Poor Linda. I don't know what happened in her life, but she looks like she's like 40.
You got a little too into the chew jelly at one point.
Yeah. I mean, if they graduated together, I mean, Camo, he's sucking in that moon energy because he looks great.
I'm reading his whole description now, and he does like Linda still. Whoops. He just doesn't say it until, she's already dating Anton.
Drama.
The triangle.
The quiet kid who never spoke up.
I feel his pain.
Are we going to talk about the real hottest lady on the island?
But the one that's feeling herself? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about Miss Windfall?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, gosh. All right. Yeah, let's get to our next group, which is everyone else.
Miscellaneous.
We can start with this. Miss Windfall, 40 years ago. This is Minenko. She's chilling outside the potion shop, but has nothing to do with the potion shop. She has everything to do with Lenzo.
Does everything to do with life, with joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre.
Exactly. She does inform you that she was Miss Windfall. She thinks she looks lovely.
If she knows she looks lovely.
I mean, Lenzo agrees, right? Don't they do like a whole picture thing? I guess they're just friends. Yeah. Like we find out that they're just friends, but like still, because he's like a photography guy, like he can't deny. Like you photogenic.
Your perfect form.
Pictograph me like one of your French girls.
like one of your outset girls.
Well, she's Miss Windfall. Excuse me.
I might have to scrub this.
No, there's no context. Kids aren't gonna know it's Titanic. Good.
Yeah, what was that? A boat?
Yeah, it's about a boat and an iceberg. Come on.
All right.
What are boats? Do they still make boats?
I don't know. I think they have lion heads on them and they talk.
Oh. They fight giant ant people in costumes with styrofoam rocks.
You lost me.
Okay.
So, amongst the everyone else group, I have two particular fathers. We got a rich dad, poor dad situation going on.
I like that you have put them in the same class.
Sounds like a great movie.
It's actually a book title.
Oh yeah, it's by that Richard Yamanoko or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, I've never read it, but
I have it, and I don't think I've read it either.
But they, as far as I know, they don't have their own names. It's Maggie's father and Mila's father.
Okay.
As you might be able to piece together, these are the girls who are trapped in the Forsaken Fortress with Errol.
What?
The one with the crystal headdress, that would be Mila, and the little pig-nosed girl, that would be Maggie. And what's interesting is that the character of these two is not immediately apparent. Well, I would say with the poor one, it kind of is, but they do a little bit more work obscuring like what's going on with Maggie's father. But yeah, when you first get on the island, or sorry, what's going on with Mila's father? When you first get on the island, Maggie's father, the one who is currently broke, will straight up rush you and ask for your help and beg for your help. And then has this weird comment about how like having a stolen daughter is it doesn't get you any rupees.
Yeah. And I'm like, so like, what were you gonna do with your daughter then?
It's like, get some rupees out of her. You thinking like begging would be easier if you had like a sob story and you were trying to like capitalize on this opportunity?
I think that's what he's saying. He's trying to raise funds to go get someone to rescue his daughter, and he figured that like, yeah, I thought people would help me, and no one cares.
Yeah.
It was pretty great when you just tell him to go away, though.
You can say, "Ooh, no."
Yeah, and he goes, "How dare you, the young people these days?" And then every time you try to talk to him until you go into a loading zone and come back out, he's still like, "I'll do it myself." He wants nothing. I was worried I ruined it. I was like, I don't want to talk to you yet, and he just got so mad.
Yeah, he chases you down like a Pokemon trainer. It's pretty it's a little bit annoying when you're trying to do anything else on the island, and he's like, "Bing," and comes running at you. I'm like, no.
Hey, I do not appreciate you chasing children. Now get out of my way while I chase children.
Yeah, basically.
Soon.
I watched a theory video on a few things on Windset Island. Sorry, Windfall Island.
Okay, there we go.
Windset.
Um, yeah, so I watched a few theory videos, and the first theory was about this guy. He's like old enough to know about the hero, and so they basically said like he saw the link, the green clothes, like the hero's clothes, and that's why he rushed you because he's not rushing anybody else. Like there's people standing around him, he doesn't give a crap. Um,
Oh.
so people are saying that like he saw the green and he was like, "Oh, the hero's clothes," and then he like rushed you. He saw like a sword and shield and assumed he'd be able to help.
You have courage.
That would be consistent with how Mila's father does it too, because like he's walking around his room stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And at first he's kind of like, I don't really have time for you. Like, I'm trying to figure out how I can save my daughter. And then you talk to him again and he's like, yeah, hey, maybe you have the courage it would take to like do this. He's like, I would pay you to like, just, he doesn't quite, he basically said he would reward you handsomely for it. Like I would give anything to have her back. And then if you keep talking to him, he's like, do you need starter money? And you can say yes. And it kind of triggers, a gambling mini game.
Mm-hmm.
Because his way of giving you starter money is to throw a red rupee into 3 of his ornate pots that he's got downstairs. But every one you break costs you 10 rupees. So
yeah.
So either you get all 3 right away and you make like a net 30, or you mess up and you could end up losing money. So it's a whole thing. I did it once.
It's capitalist minesweeper.
Basically. He's got the fanciest pots. It's one of the first times, aside from, Sue Bell on Outset, where you get punished for breaking a pot.
Mm.
He's got the special sparkly pots.
Yeah. This guy, like, he gets mad and he charges you money.
Not the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think he tells you, like, after you break one pot, he's like, hey, you break any more, you're paying for them.
And I was just like, I got you for 1, and I left.
Yeah, I broke another one and he didn't say anything, and I was like, chump. So I broke them all. And when I tried to leave, I had to pay that 80 rupee sum.
Yeah, I played his game. Like when he was like, "Do you need starter money?" I was like, "Yeah." And so he like threw the rupees into the jars, and I think I broke like 4 pots to get my 3 rupees. So I ended up making like 20 rupees. But he charged me for all of them, and he's like, "Don't act like I tricked you." And I'm like, "You threw them into the pot, sir. I'm just a baby. Like I can't reach my arm into there and out without breaking the pot. Like you forced me into this." But yeah, there's a whole thing.
He roped me into this.
But cool. We'll learn more about these guys as the game progresses. But yeah. Next up on my list, I got Garrickson, who is the post box enthusiast.
Oh man,
he just loves that Windfall has a post box.
Look at that thing. Do you know he's the guy that looks like Mario, right?
Yeah. He's walking
I was just like, look, we have a post box.
He has a side quest, I believe, or at least you can like see different events happen with him. But right now, he's just like, yo, Windfall's got a post box. Have you seen it? It's amazing. And that's pretty much all he
can't wait till the postman comes and puts stuff in the post box.
Better get his autograph.
There's Gossick, who is the dude who sits in the cafe bar.
Okay.
He looks like Kramer to me. I think maybe he's supposed to be like a visual reference to Kramer. I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate, but right now he doesn't have a whole lot to say. He just kind of reports the news on how there's people kidnapped at the Forsaken Fortress, which, was on brand enough where I was like, yeah, maybe it is. There's Creeb. This is if you go through the Windfill minigame room and you go back outside onto the onto the platform above. He's enthusiastic about the windmill.
Yeah,
he's very much like, oh, if we just had the right wind, we could get this thing started up.
Yeah, it doesn't take much more than that. We get the right wind, we can go around, we can hit that switch, and Bob's your uncle. There we are.
Yeah. So he just loves windmills, which I'm like, same, bro. If I had an island, or I lived on an island that had a windmill, I would prefer the days when the windmill was turning.
We should give him an accordion.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So that he can be Squeeze Box Creed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Creeb's got that young Lenzo vibe going.
Oh,
he's like a young Lenzo. All right,
I can get down with that.
Creeb's, he's a young guy. He's got a lot of life left in him, and he's already started with the yellow hat that Lenzo's got. So he's already a percentage there. He's got the name, so he's got the interest. Obsessed about something. So I mean, he's 3 points in already to becoming Lenzo one day.
I mean, you're selling me on this. Like, where do I buy?
3 points into the Lenzo court. Yeah, all right.
He needs to start sneaking up behind people, being like, "What ways to win? Or no."
Start blowing like their hair. He's like, windmill.
He does it to the sailors, and they're like, "Well, if you're going that way, there's an island over there."
I love wind.
It's almost like there's a theme of wind in this game.
What?
Crazy. It's not in the title.
We're gonna get to our best couple. I think the last three here are like things we gotta talk about. So let's return to Missy.
Heavy hitters.
Yeah. So Missy is Dampa's mom, and when you talk to her, she does this bit where she's like, "They say over yonder is Dragon Roost Island, where like people." Like the Rito live there, and they have their own like patron deity, but it might as well be a fairy tale to me. Someone who lives this far away, I have no way to get there. And I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. The postman comes here all the time, and your son is a sailor. So I think the problem is that you're not asking. Like, so if you really want to see it that bad and you're all upset because it feels like it could be a fairy tale to someone like you, like maybe you just got to get off of this pier and go talk to your son.
He's really bad at resource management.
Just like one of the sailors was like, there's no fish out there. So there's no like fishermen. So there's not many people out here sailing. And so like everyone just kind of doesn't want to leave their island, and I guess including this old lady who's just like, that's ludicrous. Like, I can't even imagine going as far as I could throw a stone.
Yeah, when I first read her dialogue, I interpreted it as like when she said it might as well be a fairy tale. I had this moment of like, do you not believe the Rito exists? Because one visits your island like all the time. Like, why? And then I had to like kind of revisit her dialogue and be like, oh no, she's saying it might as well be a fairy tale because she can't go there and see everything. And I'm like, that makes more sense. Magic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also a fat dragon on top of it, so like. If someone was like, yo, man, over in like Japan, there's this fat dragon on Mount Fuji, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you can see Mount Fuji from here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. No, I love looking out my window and seeing Mount Fuji. It's great.
Yeah. And the fat dragon on top.
Yeah.
All the way from New York State.
My thing is, like, her son has to have a telescope, right? Like, he's got to have one, or his crew, wherever that ship is, that they've got to have one. So, like, he's in the home. His mom's cooking. He's just sitting there, taking a break from sailing one day, and she's like, it'd be real nice to go to Dragon Roost Island once. I wish I could at least see it. And his son's like, oh, I got a telescope. And she's like, nah, it's okay.
He was probably like, you expect me, a sailor, to let you use my telescope? I hold this with my very life. If I do not have my telescope, I die. Like, okay, honey, settle down.
Dompe, dear, could you take me to the island of the Frito and the dragon? You're like, Mom, I sold my boat for some pigs. Like, we've had this conversation before. There's no getting there. The other sailors didn't quite agree to it, but I did it anyway. Now we're all abandoned here on Windfall.
That was a bad idea, but I figure when I'm done, I can start a cemetery.
So something to look forward to, Mom.
Hey, Ma, that freaky flying bird man's back again. Ma, it's looking at me, Ma.
No, that's just a fairy tale. Come back inside.
All right. Yeah, so Missy had me bothered this time around. But maybe not as bothered as our last two guys. Let's talk about Tot.
Hey.
Tot is literally dancing on a grave. And
yeah, he is. He's Dompe.
Is he?
Old Tommy Two Tones dancing around on the grave.
And he's trying to remember the way a song goes from his past. He looks like I don't even know which singer he's supposed to be
Elvis
an analog of.
Elvis Winsley.
Elvis Winsley?
He's from Windfall.
With you right now.
You're welcome.
I presume that's what you meant.
I don't even know if that's like late career Elvis, that jacket, right? With the thing, like things hanging off the sleeves. But it also has like a rainbow on it, which I'm like, that doesn't feel like Elvis. But I don't know who it does feel like. So I suppose maybe it is Elvis.
I mean, it could just be their rendition of like the Elvis jacket.
Yeah,
he did have a grooving rainbow flame jacket.
He is grooving.
But this dude, not only is he dancing on a grave, he wants to remember a song that could like turn day into night and night into day. Of
course. Who wouldn't?
He's got the rainbow on the jacket. It's a white jacket. The song, okay, I'm just going to spoil it now. The song is called The Song of Passing.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's on a grave. Let's settle down.
Spoilers.
So this dude is just straight up got all of like the death imagery going on.
And he couldn't be the most happy, flamboyant man alive in Wind Waker.
Yeah, we're glossing over the fact that he is just having a good old time. He's ready to dance.
No, he super loves his job.
I love dancing more than I love 3 meals a day.
Yeah, that's right.
You do.
At least he didn't say that 3 meals a day are a fairy tale.
It might as well be a fairy tale to a dancer like me.
Yeah. Dancing magnificent. He's the most fantastic. Yeah. I don't know. He's into some tot.
I don't.
He calls us little old you when he like first sees you. And I just thought that I didn't just remember that. And I'm like,
look at you.
Excuse me? Little old me? What is that even insinuating?
I don't know.
Are you omnipotent, sir? Do you know I'm the hero?
Do you know I'm small and old? Well, there's nothing inherently. Well, we don't know that.
See, he knows we have the Benjamin Button syndrome. We don't find that out because time doesn't really pass that much in the game, but we're pretty old and wise at this point.
Yeah, they didn't tell us that, but just because the game starts when we're 10 doesn't mean we're only 10 years old.
Right? Guys, in in the French translation, his name is Johnny. And in the German translation, it's T. Revolta.
That is amazing.
Revolta.
T. Revolta. Yo.
There you go, right there.
He's a Power Rangers villain now.
Tot Revolta. Or, John Travolta.
There you go. He's Disco Fever, man.
Yeah. So he's here.
I like Tot. I like Tot a lot. I was gonna say, how if you saw a dance, a very simple dance that allowed you to turn night to day and day to night, how would you forget it? But then you couldn't practice it, unless you want to just constantly be turning, changing day cycles and messing with everything. So of course you'd forget it because you wouldn't be doing it all the time.
He's dancing through life.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of confusion going on with this guy in my head. I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to be like, who was the dance master in Majora's Mask? You remember? Was it Kamaro?
Kamaro.
Who was like the ghost of a dance master? It doesn't look anything like this guy, so I feel like maybe that's not. It's just I don't know what the whole like dancing and life and death bit is with the Zelda.
So
life and death is a dance. Bro.
This is part of the theory that I watched. The grave. So it's not. This island is not necessarily Kakariko, but it's like a kind of like a callback to Kakariko.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a windmill.
Yeah.
So,
And so people think that the grave is like the grave of the royal family composer brothers Flat and Sharp, who had the Sun Song that turned, night, day, whatever.
That makes sense.
That the grave is the Song of Passing. He's there, to kind of call it all back, like to the Flat and Sharp composer brothers.
I don't think it's actually them, but I think that's what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't even think you can read the grave, can you?
I don't think so. Not in this one. But what's his face? Jean Roberto hides behind it when you guys play hide and seek.
Yeah. Disrespectful.
Better clean
Jean
that up.
Roberto is a student of the dance.
He secretly wants Todd to teach him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want the killer bees to find out.
Yeah. So this, if we're good on Tot, which I mean, how could you ever have enough of Tot? There is one other character that we still need to talk about. Did we last? I mean, yeah.
The prisoner.
We saved the something for last.
Yeah. So, if you go into the gallows of Windfall, which is actually right next to Tot, we will find another wonderful example of living life to the full. And that is Tingle. I don't really want to. I mean, listen. If you know Tingle, you know Tingle. You've seen him once.
If you don't know Tingle, keep it that way.
Yeah. I like that he'll hop off his stool when you walk close to the jail cell, because he's in jail. Of course he is. He's a delinquent.
He sus.
Does he even know how he got in jail?
He kind of does. Only that people are weirded out by his tingleness.
Yeah, he was thrown in jail for being sus.
Yeah. And
he didn't do anything.
Like, no, let's not say
on
that.
This island anyway.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure Parker guy tells you that too. He goes, I landed here with someone, but everyone thought he was suspicious, so they arrested him.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's great.
I'm
glad nobody thought I'm suspicious.
He stole the pictograph because Lenzo said they caught the scoundrel and threw him in jail.
Yeah.
So I thought it was
It
like they
doesn't.
thought it was Tingle, but I feel like the guy who stole the pictograph like escaped, obviously. We'll
Yes.
find
Yeah,
out
because
later.
they talk about him.
And then they just were like, well, it's this guy. And they arrested Tingle for no reason because they thought he stole the pictograph.
See, in order to keep the jail funded, they have to have someone in there. So they found the most sus guy in town.
Yikes!
Yeah. He was just mistaken for a troublemaker.
It's a privately owned jail. All right. Yeah, I mean, the individual game he gave you the absolutely abysmal Tingle tuner. In this game, he gives you a like message in a bottle system, which also is useless now because
There ain't no
online
Miiverse.
services, yeah, including the
Why can't I
Miiverse
just
are
chuck the whole point of
discontinued.
that bottle out and have a bottle? I wanted some chew jelly.
Right.
I miss the Miiverse.
I never really interacted with the Miiverse, to be honest.
I never had a Wii or a Wii U, so 3DS is all I got of it. A little bit.
Miiverse was great.
Yeah. And so in this jail cell, we can get the pictograph if you don't already have it.
Oh yeah, he's back. It's back there. I like that Tingle though is still obsessed with the idea of like, take me to the fairies, or help me out when I need to become a fairy. And I'm like, dude, I'm just some fish village kid or something. Like, oh yeah, we just said there are no fish in the ocean apparently. I don't know. I just live on an island.
There are. It's just not what you think they are. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think he tells you to come visit him on his island because he has his own island.
Mm-hmm. He gives you a chart.
We will discover the atrocities that take place on that island eventually.
He's got a downline. It's pretty grim.
When you visit his island, you start to think, oh, maybe he did belong in jail. But we don't know that quite yet.
I love his figurine.
Oh yeah.
It says, "It's been several years since Tingle first became enchanted with deciphering maps in the hopes it would help him find the fairies, and he's lost many a thing during that time. He's raising funds to begin his search for the fairies, hoping to embark sometime in his 30s, while the lust of life is still upon him. At the age of 35, the pressure is on."
Wow.
Like whoever
Time's
wrote
running
that needs
out.
a raise.
Which is wild because it wasn't in Majora's Mask. Wasn't he like 33 or something like that?
Yeah.
So he's only aged 2 years in that time period.
In Majora's Mask, he said he's 35 as well. I was wrong. So he's just 35. He's perpetually
Forever
35.
35.
And his dad's in there too.
Yeah.
He's also 35.
He's just like, I'm sorry.
He's lost a lot on his journey, but it's been really bad since he lost his marbles.
Yeah, that was a big blow.
And he never found them.
He lives his life doing what he loves. He's found a way to turn his hobby of exploration, looking for the fairies, into a map, like a cartography business. And I mean, isn't that what we all hope for?
He got that side hustle.
No, I think, well, yeah, with Tingle, it might be his whole hustle.
Well, I guess there are means to an end.
Yeah.
To become a magical fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Or to find his marbles, whatever happens first.
His outfit would be way less offensive if he just got rid of the red Speedo section and just had like a green jumpsuit.
Be like Rock Lee.
Yeah.
He may not be so sus, or at least not seem so sus immediately.
Right. Like, you look at it the way his outfit is currently, and you're like, is this public indecency? Because it kind of feels like public indecency. And then they throw him in jail.
Mhm.
Whereas if he just like changed his outfit just a little bit, he probably would have been totally chill.
Are you telling me that I should buy a pair of whitey tighties to wear on the outside of my pants?
I'm telling you that you should not do that.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're telling you that you shouldn't wear red ones.
Mhm.
Oh. What if they're yellow, but they were white when I bought them?
That's a different problem.
All right. So, unfortunately, I think that's the note we're going to end our episode on.
I always wondered.
I left. I thought we left. We made it to the shores.
We find a pirate place or two on the way.
Yeah. So once we got our sail, we can go over to Dragon Reefs. I didn't stop at anything on the way. I just did like the little
we didn't stop a fight pirates.
Sailing
I
mini
didn't.
puzzle of like jumping over barrels to get rupees and then just sailed straight there.
Well, they weren't really pirates; they were monsters. But
Yeah, I found some. An island of chews with the heart piece. In the square in between. But there's more to be done there. We'll be back. But also the salvaging friends.
Oh yeah.
We're just like, hey,
guys.
Yeah, they're like, I think they're also the people who are like, there's no fish out here. So usually it's a pirate. So you're not a pirate. That's awesome. Want to hang out for like 5 minutes?
I just
they give you some tips and stuff.
Every time the one dude gets done telling you something, the other three dudes are like, and like just nod at you.
Or they're like,
They're such a crew.
Yeah.
They work so well together.
And they have diver helmets, but no other diving gear.
That's all you need.
There's no gap.
One of the best comedic character designs, just for that reason. Because they never go into the water, but they all wear the diver helmets just because.
They're like the Let Me Solo hair of Wind Waker.
Basically.
It's a fashion statement.
Mm-hmm. Fashioned Waker.
Strike a pose.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I was like wondering here. Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. What were you wondering?
Well, I was just looking at Tingle, right? And he's got 2 Naruto makis on his face, like the little swirls, which is like the Naruto makis of food in Japan. And
they have it here too, but yeah, I hear you.
Well, yeah, but I'm wondering like if there was a reason they put 2 Naruto makis on Tingle, like if there's like, how Zelda back in the day did all that hidden stuff, or if they just wanted him to look kawaii as heck.
Well,
I mean, it's working.
They also gave him like a big red nose and a mole on his chin and a goatee. I mean, I think they just wanted him to look as silly and as uncomfortable as they could.
As sus as possible.
I'm uncomfortable.
Then they did their job. I mean, maybe it was the developers making fun of themselves for, just feeling like, hey, I'm like a fully grown professional who spends my days like making up stories about forest fairy children, and that feels weird sometimes to reflect on. I don't know.
You are Tingle.
We're all Tingle.
No.
We're all Tingle.
No.
Why not?
Now let us join us hands and say his magic words. Put our hands together. Kalu, Kalu, Limpa. Amen.
Right.
I'd love to hear a ASMR sleep podcast of Tingle.
No.
That's one of those be careful what you wish for kind of things.
Yeah, I think that's an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode.
Oh, no.
This episode of The Twilight Zone.
I mean, honestly, you insert Tingle into any Goosebumps book, and nobody's gonna bat an eye.
He's on the cover, man.
He fits right in.
All right, so guys, this has been our episode of depicting all of the wonders that can be found upon Windfall Island, and by wonders I mean NPCs. Next episode, we will be heading headlong into Dragon Roost Island and the amazing Zelda-rific tale we get while we're there. So, catch us next time on A for No, B for Yes.
Where's my dang glasses?
Did you get all that?